Hello everybody. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. The microphone might pick up the fans down there. That's my data center. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but there's a bunch of fan equipment and for the routers and switches. It's really cold because we haven't gotten the heat on yet. But that's, and I've been sick for the last week and a half. I have gotten more sleep, thankfully. I've been getting 6 hours of sleep the last couple of days, so hopefully I'll get my prescription grade medicine tomorrow. I tried melatonin for the first time in like 15 years and it doesn't work. I went on low grade, but even on the low grade it wasn't going properly. But I try not to be dependent to big pharma, but unfortunately, sometimes medicines are really important other than getting through a cold or something like that. So I wanted to do a very quick video. Oh, by the way, tonight, the New Hampshire Council on Autism Spectrum Disorders, which I love to know what's going on with that council, is a quasi-state board for simplistic purposes, for simplicity. They are doing a so-called listening session. The cynic in me thinks it's just to hear people. The cynic in me thinks it's just people are just listening to their pretty faces, but I'll give them a chance. I have a talking points of what I'm going to tell them if they're opening to literally listen. I have a talking points, and all of it is just year to date. So see if they'll listen to me. I'm not sure. All right. So anyhow, I'm going to move on to the very unpopular topic of politics, and where was I going to go with this? I lost my train of thought. Although, just I don't want to get into the deep weeds of this, but just more of I wasn't surprised whoever was going to win, because I've gone through so much political extremes that that it didn't matter which way. Although I don't like the direction where Trump is going either, because it's way too extreme. Here's a few, about 3 points, if I can make it down to 3 points. One is there should be an autopsy, the so-called autopsy on the DNC, like what happened in the Republican loss in 2012 to Obama's second term. When you do such documentation of what the party could do better, as many of you know, in 2016, Trump became the president, and he basically ripped the autopsy to shreds, but he must have put it back together because he did get the Hispanic audience and the Black audience, and the people of color in certain ways in 2024. That should say something. Now, again, the DNC could do their own autopsy and have like a super uber progressive rip it to shreds and then tape it back up to then weaponize it to get certain people to buy into them. So it could go really either way, like what happened with the RNC. But I don't think they might do an autopsy as I think about it, because they're so diluted. The other problem that you see too is particularly the spending on the DNC, and they spent a lot of money, to the point where I think the Kamala Harris campaign is in debt, and they had almost $1 billion, and they lost it in the final after the election. I guess Katy Perry did a really horrible cover for Whitney Houston, I think, in the party, the pre-party. And then Oprah Winfrey got paid by the campaign to do a show. The podcast I'm blinking on that's based on the left coast was forced to go to the East Coast to literally recreate the set for Kamala to appear. Her not appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience. Say what you want about his format. You know, you're in media, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're damned if you're doing a you're damned if you don't do your tightly formatted thing. But then if you go too far, you're going too long, and then you're damned if you cut it up too much. So it's really like, I don't have a problem with podcasts going over an hour, but no less than 2. 3 is an overkill. Okay, it's like you men don't take a piss and take a shit kind of thing. You just talking out of your hot air, and it's too much. But Trump did it. You have to give him credit on it, and I think it's the audience he had to go for, the younger audience. He's the RNC knows, the GOP knows how to find better than they did 8 years ago, and obviously 12 years ago. The DNC will continue to go towards the very progressive, uber far left extremists, like obsessing on abortion at all costs. You know, abortion is no different than going for a procedure, an elective procedure, and gloat about it. I mean, a lot of people don't like that. And also, the economy stupid was, I think, had a huge thing to do. Again, the DNC does not understand it. They do not understand their core audience. They've gone towards the cosmopolitan. They're going towards the West Side Island, Manhattan demographic. They forgot the working class. So the working class, the blue-collared union workers have nowhere to go. So they're going to turn right because it's the one that's closest to them, even if they don't agree with 60% of the views. Because damn, the progressives really are like, well, if you're not if you're a liberal, you're a right winger kind of attitude. I think it's really bad. It's so bad. They're so out of touch, and they really were like, they were so aggressive for being progressive that when there's a push, comes to a shove, and it happened, and it really, I think, says a lot about the right and or the left, excuse me, and how the far left has really written off the more moderate. And Kamala should have gotten more moderate, but the problem was, this is a mess. It's a complete mess. It's not good for many people. I think Trump's policies are predictable, but what am I going to do? I think New Hampshire's, like I said when I did the video last Wednesday, New Hampshire is becoming a dumpster fire. I think the state is going to go down, and I think the progressive policies in New Hampshire, I think, backfired. I think that you know, even in New Hampshire standards, it went negative. And again, I don't see the far left ever looking at themselves in the mirror to see what they could have done better. I you know, they want the right to do that, but they won't do it to themselves. It is a lot of hypocrisy, and I think it's a problem, and no one's gonna do anything about it. So that's all I wanted to say. I want to keep it short. I think there's just I think there's a lot to unpack, and it won't be today, it won't be tomorrow, but I think the first read is going to either have to do an autopsy or just look at themselves and see what they could do better. If they even can admit that they can do better. They might just use it to just piss on Donald Trump for another 4 years. And I don't think that's politically intelligent. But again, the insanity of repeating something and expecting a different result, I think is an understatement. So, till next time, bye.